Good evening, everyone. Let me begin with a simple but powerful question. What happens when a girl realizes that no one is coming to save her? For many, that moment feels like the end. But for some, it becomes the beginning of something extraordinary. Today, I want to share the story of a girl who learned to stand alone and not only stood, but stood tall. This is not a story of perfection or privilege. It is a story of courage built quietly in moments when no one was watching. She grew up believing strength meant having support, approval, and someone standing beside you. Like many girls, she was taught, sometimes gently, sometimes harshly, that she should wait, adjust, and depend. She waited for validation. She waited for encouragement. She waited for someone to say, "You're ready." But life has a way of breaking our expectations. Circumstances changed, people walked away, and suddenly she found herself standing alone in moments where support was promised but never delivered. Fear whispered, "You can't do this." Doubt echoed, "You're not enough." And yet, something powerful happened in that silence. Standing alone forced her to listen to her own voice. At first, it trembled. She questioned every step, every decision. But each time she chose to keep going, even imperfectly, that voice grew stronger. She learned that independence is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward despite it. When no one clapped for her efforts, she learned to applaud herself. When no one believed in her vision, she became her own believer. And slowly, she stopped asking for permission to take up space. There were days she stumbled, days she felt invisible, days when the weight of responsibility felt heavier than her dreams. But here is the hook we often miss. Standing alone doesn't mean standing without pain. It means standing with purpose. She turned rejection into redirection. She turned loneliness into self-discovery. Every challenge became a lesson, every failure a teacher. Instead of shrinking, she expanded. Instead of breaking, she built resilience brick by brick. What made her stand tall was not success overnight, but consistency over time. She showed up when motivation was low. She kept promises to herself when others broke theirs. She learned skills, strengthened her mindset, and chose growth even when comfort called her back. And in doing so, she redefined strength not as loud confidence, but as quiet determination. Not as perfection, but as progress. As she stood taller, something remarkable happened. Her posture changed, not just physically, but emotionally. She stopped apologizing for her ambition. She stopped explaining her boundaries. She stopped shrinking her dreams to make others comfortable. Standing alone taught her self-respect, and self-respect gave her presence. People began to notice, not because she demanded attention, but because confidence speaks without words. This story is not just about her. It is about every girl who has ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or left behind. It is about the moments when you realize that standing alone is not a punishment, it is preparation. Preparation to become stronger, wiser, and more grounded than you ever imagined. When you learn to stand alone, you no longer fear being left. You become someone who can lead, inspire, and uplift others. She discovered that true strength often hides in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when the applause is absent and the world seems to move on without noticing her struggles. At first, being alone felt like an unbearable weight, a reminder that support she once expected was not coming. She questioned herself constantly, asking, "Am I enough? Can I really do this on my own?" Every step forward felt heavy. Each decision seemed more daunting without someone beside her to guide or reassure. But then something remarkable happened. She began to listen to her own voice, the one that had been drowned out by expectations, doubts, and the constant need for validation. In those solitary moments, she realized that strength was not a gift others could give her. It was something she could cultivate herself. It was forged in silence, in the courage to make choices without approval, in the persistence to keep moving even when uncertainty loomed large. The solitude that once felt like a burden slowly transformed into a space of empowerment. She discovered that being alone allowed her to know herself deeply, to understand her limits, her passions, and her potential in ways that constant dependence never could. Every time she faced a challenge without help, she added another layer of resilience to her character. Each moment of standing alone became a testament to her growing inner power, a declaration that she did not need external validation to define her worth. The fear that once paralyzed her became a guide, teaching her where she needed to grow, where she needed patience, and where she could push beyond her comfort zone. She learned to make decisions confidently, to trust her instincts, and to move forward without hesitation. The girl who once trembled at the thought of isolation now embraced it, recognizing it as a training ground for courage and self-reliance. She understood that the strength she was building in solitude was not temporary. It would carry her through life's storms, prepare her to face challenges others might fear, and allow her to stand tall in a world that often underestimates the power of a woman who believes in herself. Every day spent standing alone became a silent victory, a quiet but undeniable proof that independence was the foundation of her courage, and that true empowerment begins the moment a girl chooses to trust herself above all else. So let me close with this. If you are in a season where you feel alone, remember this. You are not weak, you are being trained. Standing alone is not the end of your story. It is the chapter where you discover who you truly are. Stand firmly. Stand honestly. Stand tall. Because the girl who learns to stand alone doesn't just survive, she rises.